You were Satya's number 2 in cloud for a long time before he became CEO, and then he asked you to run this division. Tell me a little bit about that conversation.
Well, I've been fortunate to work with Satya for a long time, and he and I worked on Azure and the cloud business. And so when he became CEO, or the day before he became CEO, we had a conversation, and I took on what was his role.
What did he say?
Well, we've worked so closely together, so it was a pretty quick conversation. And the company as a whole has been going through this cloud transformation, so it's been incredibly fun to be part of, and then more importantly, helping our customers through it. And it's been a great ride.
Yeah, in the break we were talking about 7 to 8 years ago, the Azure business didn't really exist. So it's a fairly new business, yet it has grown really fast. And you made a big decision a few years ago to focus on cloud, shift a lot of workers and resources there to this area that was making like millions of dollars from areas that were making billions of dollars. You're an engineer by training. How did you make that decision? What informed that?
Well, I think in technology, things move fast. And the most important thing is trying to understand where is the hockey puck going and how do you skate to it. And as a company, we'd missed a couple of trends, which is widely known. And we saw cloud and said, this is a trend we're not going to miss. And more than just a technology shift, we also see every customer out there is looking to reinvent themselves and do digital transformation, and cloud is integral. And I think we were able to execute very well. It aligns incredibly well with what customers are looking for. And it's been great to see the success both of their businesses, but then in turn with ours.
How do you compete with Amazon when they got a head start 4 years earlier in this business than you did?
Well, I think the thing that we focused on is how do we really focus on the enterprise market and the startups and ISVs that target the enterprise market. And I think that was something that we did early on, whereas Amazon had focused more to begin with consumer startups. And it's allowed us to play to our strengths around hybrid, which is a key differentiation we have versus other cloud competitors. And it also allows us to really look at the Microsoft overall cloud portfolio, which is not just Azure, but also Office 365 and Dynamics 365, and bring a really unique set of offerings to bear that Amazon and other cloud vendors don't have.
Now, are you taking business from them? Are you attracting customers that they have to your platform, or are you mostly winning new customers that are new to the cloud entirely?
We see both. I think we definitely have a number of very large customers that have switched to our cloud with Azure. And then, what we also see is just the market has been growing, and I think we're taking a disproportionate share of the growth. And that's been driving our overall cloud momentum. And the market is still fairly new, and it's not anywhere near over in terms of its growth phase. And so, the thing that we get energized around is just the tremendous opportunity that's ahead, not just, again, to grow our business, but more importantly, grow our customers' business as we enable them to do more and take advantage of the cloud to reinvent themselves.
So do you see the pie getting bigger? And if so, how much more of the pie will you have in the future, in terms of a percentage? If Amazon is many times bigger than you now, what does that look like in 2, 3, 5 years?
Well, I don't think Amazon's many times bigger than us now. Maybe 7 years ago they were. But now I think if you look in the enterprise market, most people have us pretty darn close in terms of overall cloud share for businesses. Again, we see the opportunity ahead as really enormous market, because everything is moving to cloud over time. Not just the traditional IT workloads, but cars, retail facilities, manufacturing, a bunch of technology that we never had any participation in terms of the core business is now really being cloud enabled, and I think enables an enormous market out there.
I know it's not a zero-sum game, but is this a market where you feel there will be one clear leader, or where there will be many leaders?
I think there'll be, I don't think there'll be one. I think there'll definitely be several. And it's probably a $1 trillion market, so it's a very big market. And the thing that we're uniquely focused on is, how do we have this sort of unique value proposition that really makes our customers successful, and really honing that down, I think, is the most important thing. I think we do that, we're going to have a big business, but I think others will have successful businesses as well.
You're now, as a result of this business, managing high-stakes events like Black Friday, or on another end of the spectrum, elections. How do you keep up, especially when there are constant threats in cyberspace?
Well, trust is something that we focused a lot on with Microsoft over the last couple of years, and it is around how do you provide the reliability that customers need, how do you provide the security, including cybersecurity, which is obviously of paramount importance, and then also just from a compliance and regulatory perspective, we're in a dynamic, changing global world where new regulations, new data sovereignty needs are popping up, and we're really focused on how do we deliver trust as a clear differentiation of our cloud, and we know it's integral to success going forward.
Microsoft has played an important role in making the public aware of Russian threats online. You said earlier this year Microsoft did that. Some of your accounts had been targeted, think tanks targeted by Russian intelligence to sort of undermine some of their activities. How critical has the cloud team been in managing those kinds of threats?
Well, I think the opportunity that the cloud gives is much more signal on what's happening, and also the ability for us to help our customers understand how they're being attacked.
So by signal, are you saying you're detecting some of these?
In a lot of cases, we're detecting it. We're able to use our AI technology and some of our more advanced security capabilities to actually tell customers when they're being targeted or attacked, hopefully not successfully, but even if they're actually being targeted. And part of what we've rolled out is actually capabilities where we can proactively tell customers when we suspect someone is probing their environment or trying to compromise their emails or compromise their environment. And that's a big differentiator where I think a lot of enterprises in particular are now realizing the cloud can help them be more secure because they can actually get more intelligence than what they used to be able to have inside only their own data centers.
Employees at Microsoft, like we've seen employees at Google and Amazon, have protested their company's work with the government. Microsoft has made it very clear, Satya Nadella has made it very clear, Microsoft is going to work with the government. How do you draw that line in terms of values of what customers you will and will not work with?
Well, I think one of the things that we've been very focused on has been around, let's be principled about it and not try to make a individual decision on a case-by-case basis, but instead really publish our principles. Brad Smith, who's our president, published a good blog post which really listed in very clear terms, here are our principles, here are our rules about AI ethics, and we're going to be principled and make sure we stand to those rules. And we obviously are all citizens of our government, and we're an American company, so we do want to make sure that our government in particular, we can help and assist. But we're going to be very clear as we do it and very principled. And we found that resonates pretty well with our employees. And I think it's an important debate that we want to make sure that we have both with society, but also with our employees as well.
Now, Bloomberg has reported that Satya doesn't want the executive focusing on the market cap, most valuable company, $1 trillion market cap or not. How do you not focus on it? And do you really not pay attention to that stuff?
Yeah, that's something I think a lot of people get surprised about, that we don't focus, we don't have a party or anything like that. It's, at the end of the day, it's the thing that matters is our customer success and being laser focused on our customers. And I think Satya has spoken pretty eloquently, which is when you start believing your own hype or you start celebrating your own success too much, you lose sight of what's important. And we're really trying to culturally make sure, because we've been on a journey the last 20 years, we've seen the highs and the lows and the highs.
But on the day you became the world's most valuable company, wasn't that like kind of a cool day?
It honestly wasn't any different than any other day, which I know everyone finds surprising, but it's staying humble, staying focused, and again, really making sure we put customers at the center is the reason we got here, and it's the only reason we'll stay in the position we're in, and so we're going to stay focused on it.